Hey, welcome once again to Talk and Fight. We've got Neil Adil in the house, and he's got some great stories about Thomas Hearns lined up for us. What do you got, Neil?
Hey, good evening, Graham. Nice to see you again. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for all the response that you guys have been giving us, all the beautiful comments, all the subscriptions. I'm really, really sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so kindly, everybody. And I want to say one thing to everybody. I want to thank Mr. Scotty Bulldog Olson. All right, Scotty. The other night there, guys, if you haven't seen it, we got Scotty Olson. He was fantastic. So we got a bunch of other guys coming up real soon. We're gonna go around the world. We're gonna find the best of the new and the best of the old boxers, and we're gonna bring them on the Neil the Deal show. They're gonna have to deal with me. That's gonna be a problem for them because they're not used to it. But anyways, what do you think, Graham? You think everybody will like that?
I think among the best of the best, Tommy Hearns. Come on, what do you got? I'm waiting.
Well, listen, this guy, I'm saving guys around. You guys got to come out and check this stuff out because I'm going to give you the lowdown on a guy who I've been watching since I was sperm. All right. Now, this guy is awesome. Like, basically, there's not many guys in the world that have done anything close to this guy. And he actually he's a gentleman. I mean, this guy's a fighter for a living, but at the end of the day, he's a proper gentleman. So let's give him kudos. Check him out. All his fights were unbelievable. I'm going to give you all a little bit of his life story here. So let's check it out. All right. We're talking about Thomas, the Motor City Cobra. All right. I don't know if you guys know that his original nickname was the Motor City Cobra because we all know him as the Hitman, Tommy the Hitman Hearns. You know what I mean, Graham? Yep. So he had a moniker before he actually became the Hitman, and that was the Motor City Cobra. All right. So this guy is that, even the name, that sounds wicked. You know what I mean? Motor City Cobra. That's wicked. It's kind of like Fatal War Snake. That's wicked too, but boneless. We'll see you one day. Anyways, all right. So Thomas Hearns, he was born October 18th, 1958. All right. He started his career in 1977, and he ended it in 2006. He moved up 50 pounds in his career. All right. 50 pounds. You guys ever gained 50 pounds? Have you even lifted a 50-pound weight? Try it. You won't believe that a guy can go from one division to another division and actually be a world champion in all divisions. So, yeah. I mean, it's unheard of that anybody's ever done that. So he fought in many, many divisions. So he fought in the welterweight division, the cruiserweight division, light middleweight division, super middleweight division, light heavyweight, and that's about it, I think. He really he really had an illustrious career in all divisions. Not many guys can pull that off because to go from one division to another, it's all about weight. All right. Some guys can't make weight, so they go up. Some guys are they go down. This guy started out as a skinny, slender guy who became a 50-pound, naturally. Remember, he didn't do this through steroids. I know that for sure. He didn't do it through all the other goofy things. He did it naturally, So he's a tall, slim guy. He had a long reach, broad shoulders. The shoulders, very broad shoulders. And that allowed him to get that 50 pounds on his body, all right? Because if you don't have that natural, how do I say? He's 6'1", right? And he's fighting in a very light, welterweight is, he starts up, but then he moves all the way up the ladder. So it's unbelievable that any human being can fight in a 50-pound difference. You know what I mean? I've never heard of that. That's the first time I've ever heard of it. Most guys might, even Scotty Olson will tell you, He went up a couple of weight classes, but that's a couple of weight classes. This guy went up like 5, 6 weight classes. So,
Yeah.
and he was successful at every weight class. Undisputably unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit about some of his notoriety over the years. He was named Fighter of the Year, all right, by Ring Magazine and Boxer Writers Association of America twice, 2 times. Never mind 1 time, 2 times. All right, 1980, 1984. Absolutely crazy. He was a devastating puncher, this guy. All right. He was ranked number 18 on Ring Magazine's list of 100 greatest punchers. All right? Number 18. He racked up, that's all time, number 18. You know, Rocky Marciano, the other night we talked about Rocky. Well, this guy was ranked higher than Rocky Marciano, so he was doing something right. So, he was also ranked number 92 in BoxRec ranking of the greatest pound for pound fighters of all time. All right. The greatest of all time, pound for pound. That is a serious, serious accolade to have under your belt, other than the gazillion belts that the guy fought for and won. You know what I mean? He was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame on June 10th, 2012. All right. Which is something that all fighters, I'm sure you guys out there, all you great fighters, Graham, you know what I mean? They all want to make the Hall of Fame. Like, who wouldn't? Your name is going down in lights. That's the reason why you do this is self-pride and being able to leave a legacy for the rest of us to enjoy and to just enjoy, literally. Watching a guy like Thomas Hearns is pure enjoyment. You guys need to check out his fights. These ones go down in the history as probably some of the best. We're going to get into that, but Graham, what do you think about Hearns yourself?
Hearns is one of those guys who I remember from the Olympics of all places. Someone who really made his name known, I believe in the mid 80s, if I'm not mistaken. He went on to become a professional boxer, obviously, but the reality of it is I remember him specifically in those 80s fighting for the Olympics for the US team and then doing very, very well. This guy's a classy guy.
Absolutely, Graham. You're absolutely right. The guy is an ambassador of boxing, all right? You know, he has the moniker Hitman. He's not the mob. He's not the mob. He's the guy in the ring that acts like the mob. That's how he got the Hitman moniker, you know what I mean? So, but he's a really, really sincerely nice guy. So we're going to talk a little bit about him and his career and how he grew up and stuff like that. So stay with me here. You're going to like this, people. All you beautiful people out there have been watching the Neil the Deal show. All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Let's do it. All right. As a young boy, he was brought up by a single mother. All right. The mother married again. The mother had 3 children in her first marriage, and Thomas was one of them. Then she married a gentleman who had 6 children. All right. So they created a family of 9 children. All right. Tommy was about 5 years old when his family moved to Detroit, Michigan. All right. So he was born. Let's just do that let's do that right now. That's a good time for it. He was born again, October 18th, 1958 in Grand Junction, Tennessee. One of my favorite states. Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw. That's me, Neil the Deal. I'm a country singer. Bring it on. It's my favorite state. So, Tommy, thanks for being born there. Top notch, top left, bud. All right. So he was born there. And at 5 years old, his mother and his stepfather at that time, with 9 children, moved to Detroit, Michigan. Then he started his career. He was a very young guy. And his amateur career was extensive. I honestly did not really know this until I looked into it because I watched him exclusively as a professional, but now his amateur career amazed me. Imagine this. So his amateur career record all time was astoundingly 155 wins, 8 losses.
Wow.
That's his amateur career, Graham.
And
What do you
that's in
think of that?
Detroit. That's it. That's in Detroit.
Yes, he was fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, the Hitman. In his amateur career, 155 wins with 8
In
losses.
Detroit.
Yes,
Murder City, if I'm not mistaken.
absolutely. You don't want to be walking around late at night over there. It's a great city.
Nowadays turned
It's a
around.
tough city, and a lot of boxers around the world have come from Detroit, and that's
Yep.
why they're tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really tough. So, anyways, this is where he grew up, and this is how I guess he created his career. So
So some great gyms that obviously
well,
training
yeah,
those amateur guys at.
Kronk Gym is where he was. Kronk. If you want to go and be a real fighter, go to Kronk Gym. On the walls, you're going to see a guy, Emmanuel Stewart, the manager of the Hitman. Mr. Hearns' manager was Emmanuel Stewart. He's from Kronk Gym. We're going to get in that a little more here, so let's just keep her going, Graham. Eh?
Keep her going.
All right. So in 1977, man, I was 12 years old in those days. He won the National Athletic Union Championship in the light welterweight division.
Wow.
All right. That was his first accolade as a fighter. He also won the 1977 National Golden Gloves. Golden Gloves. This is the highest mountain you can climb as an amateur. If you're a Golden Gloves champion, that is an accomplishment you'll never forget. And I'm telling you, people out there, guys, listen to me. If you're going to be a boxer, and I know you all want to be, just strive for the Golden Gloves and then move on to your pro career, because Golden Gloves is really it's like winning the gold medal in the Olympics of amateurs, so to speak.
Yeah.
So he won it in the light welterweight division, and he was a Golden Gloves champion, which was I'm not surprised, but I really didn't know. So I'm just letting you guys know about that.
Yeah.
He began his pro career in Detroit, Michigan, under, like I said before, Hall of Fame trainer. Okay, we're going to talk about these guys later on. It's in upcoming episodes, trainers, etc., stuff like that. Emmanuel Stewart. All right, guys, Emmanuel Stewart. This is just one guy in the Emmanuel Stewart camp, and guess what? If you look him up, he's basically trained multiple, like 5 zillion multiples world champions, Mr. Stewart. So you got to love Mr. Stewart. He was loved by the boxers. They'll all tell you the same thing. Absolute gentleman, absolutely phenomenal at the craft, and taught all these guys how to become better men. You know what I mean? So let's give it up for Emmanuel. I love that guy. So he won 6 in his career. He won 6 major titles. All right, because we all know there's major titles and then there's titles. All right, some are given a little more oomph, say. Some are given a little more not so much oomph. So he won 6 of the majors. It's kind of like Tiger Woods in majors, Jack Nicklaus in majors. He won 6 majors. All right. He also won the IBO title at the cruiserweight weight division, and he started his career by killing. Is what I say. This guy was a killer, literally, and knocking out his first 17 opponents. My favorite number, 17. There he is, Dilly Strom, number 17, best player in the NHL. Let's go, Dilly. Give him a Scotty Olsen. Give him one of those. Let's do it. All right. He knocked out 17 straight, 17 guys. All right. 1980. All right. This guy, Tommy Hearns, was 28-0. Nobody can touch this guy. 28-0. 1980. Where were you in 1980? I know where I was.
I was in university.
There you go. I don't know where I was exactly. I was somewhere, but anyways, he was 28-0, and he fought for his first world title against a guy named Pepino Cuevas, Mexico. Hey, you Mexicans out there, I don't forget about you Mexicans, all right? Keep signing up, signing in, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your girlfriends, tell your boyfriends, whatever you got, tell them to talk to Neil the Deal out there in Mexico, because we're going to start talking a lot about those Mexicans, all right?
Yeah,
a lot
for sure.
more Mexicans on the bill. Graham, what do you think of the Mexican fighters?
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely. Those guys, they're at the front runners. They're the front runners in boxing, in my mind, between the States and Mexico. These are the guys who are really, over the years and years, have showed more skill, more craft, more dedication, more training ability, and more wins. At the end of the day, everybody likes a winner. So, all right. So he dealt with Cuevas, right? Cuevas was the champion for 4 years. All right. Hearns took him down, reigned 4 years, done. Hitman, boom, you're done. Night, cancel Christmas, you're done. All right. Beating him in the second round, TKO. All right. Then he moves on, Mr. Hearns. He has a comeback. He kind of, after that title fight, he took a bit of time off and then he had a comeback. He fought a guy who was undefeated. His name was James Black Gold Schuler. Undefeated. So Hearns fights him. What happens? 1986. First round KO. Done. Did it. Finished. Now, the sad story is a week later, Mr. Schuler was in a motorcycle accident and was tragically killed. All right. So what happened was, this is a week after Hearns took the guy's title. Mr. Hearns is such a man. Thomas, if you see Neil the Deal one day, I give you double thumbs up, bud, in stereo. You know what I'm saying? You went to the funeral. You actually gave the belt back to the family.
Wow.
That is the most upstanding thing I've ever heard, because you said, apparently, that he held the belt longer for you, so he deserves the belt back. And that's what he did. Thomas Hearns, look at that. He wins the belt and gives it back because this guy has a heart. He has compassion for human beings. That's the kind of guy we want to deal with, right? So Hearns proceeded. He got the NABF championship belt. That was Schuler's belt. Gave it back. So that was pretty impressive, honestly, from what I thought. Like, you win it, you're the winner. But apparently in Thomas's mind, he felt better about himself to give it back as a human being. It's such a human thing to do, is give back. People, you need to give back. Stop. It's all not about take. Give back to the world. Come on. We all work together. We're all the same. All right. So anyways, let's get on with this. 87, Hearns scored he scored 6 knockouts. All right. Beating a guy named Dennis Andre to win the WBC light heavyweight title. All right. Has anybody heard of Dennis Andre? Well, he got knocked down 6 times in that fight, and he was the title holder. And right off him. 10th round stoppage, couldn't continue. And that fight is at one of my most favorite places. It was at Tommy Hearns' hometown, Detroit, Michigan, at Cobo Hall. And I like Kiss. And if you ever want to watch a rock star video, check out Kiss at Cobo Hall in Detroit. It's over the top. 75 Cobo Hall. I'm telling you, I love Kiss. Gene, I love you too. All right. Continued to win. The vacant after that, he went and he decided, okay, he's going to go for a vacant title now. All right. The WBC middleweight title. And he had a 4-round destruction. Okay. Absolute debauchery of this guy. And this guy at the time was 63-2. Right, Graham? 63-2.
63-2.
Yeah. And Hearns made mincemeat out of him in 4 rounds. A complete destruction. His name was Ron Roldan. Look him up. Roldan. Roldan. All right.
Wow.
At the time, that made Hearns a 4-weight class world champion. He held belts in 4 weight classes at that point. Unfortunately, next he decided to put up the middleweight belt, and in a bad performance, he had a bad. We're not all perfect. We all make mistakes, people. Come on now. So be good to yourself. Don't come down on yourself. Just be good to yourself. All right. He had a bad performance that day. He lost the title. All right. The WBC middleweight title to Iran Barkley. All right. Iran Barkley. He lost via 3rd round TKO. Barkley took him down. And it was called by Ring Magazine at the time, upset of the year, because Hearns was such a favorite to win that. In Vegas, it was like, you bet 1,000, you win 100. With Barkley, you bet 100, you win 1,000, if you know what I mean. So that Ring Magazine called that the upset of the year. And I truly believe, I watched all those fights personally. I know Iran Barkley. I know what he's all. Those were fantastic fights. So check them out, guys. Him and Barkley, title fights. Check those out. All right. Later the year, Barkley returned home. He won the inaugural WBO super middleweight title from Juan Kitchen via unanimous decision. And from there, he was basically unstoppable. All right, I can't see anything, Graham.
We're still here. We're still with you.
No, I know, but something happened here. It says join the meeting. My battery's low. I don't know why, but it's okay. I'm gonna put join the meeting.
We're still on. We're still recording.
Yeah, but I got, okay, hold on. I gotta X this out then. There we go. All right, we all right?
Yep.
Okay, Eric, clip that out. All right. Okay. We started again. The inaugural, all right? The inaugural super middleweight title from James Kinchin. Kinchin was 44-3 at the time. All right. So this was no slouch. He took that title down unbelievably. You know what? At that moment, that made Hearns the very first boxer ever to win world titles in 5 different divisions. All right. Nobody had done that to that point. All right. And it gets better with this guy. He's like a fine wine. He just gets better with age. So in 1989, there was a fight. All right. There was a first fight. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But the rematch fight was he had some memorable fights against Sugar Ray Leonard. We all saw those fights, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. That was for the WBC super middleweight title and Hearns' WBO super middleweight title. That fight in 89, it was a draw. All right. Watch the fight. Wow. It was a draw. How do you get a draw? Somebody's got to win, but nobody won. His last greatest fight was in 1991 as a challenger. He defeated he defeated WBA light heavyweight champion Virgil Hill. All right, this is his title fights. So at the time, Virgil Hill was basically undefeated. All right, he had 11 defenses of his title when he fought Hearns. So he had already fought 11 opponents and beat them all. And Hearns was the next up. All right. So Hill was undefeated. And he actually watched the fight. Hearns and Hill. He beat Hill. He beat the guy to get his 6th world title, right? Major. The 6th one. And nobody's done that. I don't even know if anybody's done that to date. I don't know, Graham. Do you know?
I don't think so.
He outboxed Hill, and Hill was not a slouch. He had defended that title 11 times, so there was 11 guys that tried their best and failed, and Tommy came in there and did the job. So let's just move on with Tommy now. It's around 1992. He lost again. Funny enough, he lost again to his old nemesis, who took the title off him a few years before, Iran Barkley, again. So he's got a problem with this Barkley guy. Whatever Barkley's camp did, that messed up the Motor City Madman, basically, the Cobra, and twice. He fought him 2 times and lost both times. That just doesn't really happen in that guy's life.
Huh.
So kudos to Iran Barkley. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about him. We'll look into him. Look into Iran Barkley. He might have a good career, you know. He beat Hearns twice. What else did he do? So anyways, he finished, he lost to Barkley, and then he went on an 8-fight winning streak. All right. So he lost to Barkley in 92, went on an 8-fight winning streak. And so it's like I always say, if you get in trouble in life, get back up on the horse and be better than you were before. All right.
Yeah,
Never mind. You can either be better. You can be bitter or better. You need to be better. That's it. All right. Everybody out there, all my fans, let's get better. All right. April 10th, 1999, Hearns went to England. Now the guy's going overseas. What's going on? I had no clue about this. But anyways, this is what he did. He went to England and beat a guy named Nate Miller. Nate Miller? All right, fine. Nate Miller by unanimous decision to win the IBO cruiserweight title. I didn't even know he did that, but apparently he did, and he added that to his accolades over his career. This is Nate Miller. I don't even know who the guy is, but he beat him for the world title. Okay, in England. The next fight was April 2000. He lost a fight. And the problem with that fight was it was for that IBO cruiserweight title that he just won from Nate Miller. And he lost. He lost to a guy named Uriah Grant. All right. So he held that title, the cruiserweight title, for a very brief time. And his final fight of his career, guys, then he had a final fight. Final fight was February 4th, 2006, against an individual named Shannon Landberg. All right. That was it. There was no decision. There was no win. There was no loss. There was this. We don't even know.